and happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I wanted to take a moment to tune in and turn on with you and just share a little bit of insight and inspiration. As we're going through such a pivotal time, it's important that we allow ourselves to do that. To pivot means to turn, to rotate. And many of us are having to do that now in ways and that we've never imagined. And so it's important that we see these as possibilities instead of as problems, because what's going on out there in the world, is more than what we are, it's more than a change. It's more than what we think it is. And because of that, this is why it is a pivotal time. The pivot is really about change, but more than that, it is about a rotation. And not only is the world rotating, we're rotating from the inside out, and that calls for possibilities, because we can get caught up in the stories, we can get caught up in the problems, or we can allow ourselves to step into the possibilities. A few weeks ago, our beautiful community, Brown Girls Who Bruja, had over 72,000 followers, and we were hacked and they stole our account. We have not been able to recover it. And what that really taught me about the idea of the pivot, and this was right before any of this happened. So I guess it's maybe 3 weeks. Oh, there's a butterfly by me. And so it's been 3 weeks now. Let me see if I can rotate it so you can see this beautiful butterfly just came by me. Hey, Tony, I see you. This beautiful butterfly decided to come and visit as I started talking. And so recognizing, just beautiful displays of nature, right? Just beautiful. So thank you, little Miss Butterfly, for coming to bless me today. And so, having that experience taught me so much about looking at not problems, but possibilities, because, I believe and I have faith that everything happens for a reason. So I know that there are no mistakes. And so this was an opportunity for me to really get clear. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Who am I doing it for? And what's the importance? And so I really had to stop and pivot and look at myself. Who was I being? Hi, Miss Manzo. So nice to see you. Who was I being? Why was I being that way? And I realized more than anything that I was, looking for likes instead of focusing on what I really wanted. There was really a shift in my perception about myself, about the work that I'm doing, about the things that I want to do in the world, because I am here as a healer. I am here as a supporter in changing people's lives and lifting and shifting their energy, their minds, their bodies, and their spirits. And I can't do that being somebody or pretending to be who I thought I was supposed to be popular. And I had to really look at myself. And so having the hack experience, at first I thought, oh my God, this is a problem. What am I going to do? How is this going to change my business? How is this going to change me? Oh, now we have a big bug. Sorry, big bugs. How is this going to change me? But I decided, you know what? I'm going to pivot. I'm going to shift my thinking. I'm going to shift this idea that this is a problem into this is a possibility. Because guess what? It is my decision what I think about what happens to. It's my decision what I think about. It's my decision. And so this time of pivoting out there in the world is an opportunity for us to pivot within ourselves. And so I want to ask you, how and what are you pivoting? Are you shifting how you do things? Are you waking up earlier, staying up later? Are you watching too much TV? Are you drinking too much? How can you pivot this experience into some possibilities? So one of the things that I'm doing and that I'm so grateful for is expanding my spiritual practice, expanding, all that I do. Because guess what? I've always been an at-home worker. I've always been an online entrepreneur. And because of that, I've always worked at home. And so this is really giving me an opportunity to, look at how I do my business differently. But more than that, it's really given me an opportunity to examine, who am I being? Why am I being? And so many other things about not only my business, but why am I doing what I'm doing? And so I'm inviting you to look at how you can pivot. Are you looking at problems, or are you allowing yourself to see possibilities? Because guess what? It is a new world, and it won't ever go back to the way that it was. And do we want it to? That's why, as we allow ourselves to pivot, the world will too. And so, some of the ways that I'm supporting you, and Miana and I are creating so many amazing things that we can bring to you. So the first thing is, tomorrow is Heart Happy every Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you know you want to get in and have some spiritual connection, have a spiritual community, do some prayer with me, some spiritual practice, every Friday at 11 a.m. we have a Facebook group that you can join. It's called Heart Happy. And tonight, actually, in just a little bit, I'll be hosting my first tarot mentoring pop-up. The reason that I'm sharing this with you right now is because, guess what? Tarot has been a huge part of my life and has been for so long. Not many people know that when I started out as a spiritual teacher and all of this, I was doing tarot readings in a coffee shop. I was doing it because I wanted to support other people. I knew I had the gift as an intuitive. And again, I wanted to help people. But my biggest thing was I really wanted to help people. So in between doing tarot readings, I was going to school for over 3 years to be a spiritual counselor. So I was going to classes every Thursday night, or actually, I think it was Tuesday night was classes. So I'd go into the city. I lived in the suburbs of Chicago at that time. Miana was in high school, I believed, at that time, maybe even middle school. But I would drive into Chicago and have a few hours of class, and I did that for 3 years. So for 3 years, I studied to become a licensed spiritual practitioner with the Centers for Spiritual Living and Religious Science. And so when I wasn't teaching yoga, I would also see clients, and I would also go to this little coffee shop and do tarot readings. And so tarot has been the one thing that has just shifted my life. So flash forward, so that was maybe 2007, 2008, 2009, while Miana was in high school, and one of her high school friends just popped on, and one of her college friends popped on too. Hey, beloveds. And so I would do that. And so flash forward to 2012, after my first YouTube video came out in 2008. 2008 was the first time I did my first YouTube video. And from there, from doing those YouTube videos, I had to go back in my mind there. So from there, a TV show in Europe found me from doing these simple little YouTube videos. They found me and invited me to go and be on their show in Ukraine. So from there, I was then voted to be number 3 psychic in the world. Okay, so I was living in Kiev, Ukraine for over 9 months. Now, the reason I'm sharing all of this with you is because it was tarot, 78 tarot cards that guided me from a little coffee shop in Chicago, doing $1 a minute readings, to being voted number 3 psychic in the world. Okay, so that is mind-blowing. And not only that, it was on TV. And so every Sunday, we would be in front of 33 million Europeans every Sunday for 2 hours. So not only that, I was 40 years old. So here I was thinking, what am I going to do? I don't want to work at... And I went from, like I said, coffee shop to stardom. And tarot was the tool, the only tool besides my spiritual practice that I used every single day. And so that's the kind of energy that I'll be bringing in tonight's tarot mentoring pop-up. So if you are interested, go ahead. There is the link in the bio, and I'll make sure to include it in the comments. It's at 5 Central Standard Time. It will have limited replays, and it is on Zoom, as everybody's using Zoom. And so, there are ways that you can pivot. The thing is, if you're focused on problems, how can you see possibilities? you know? And so it's important that we have tools that we can use. More than prayer, more than meditation, we need tools. And I'm not saying, you know, I pray all day, I meditate the same. But guess what? We sometimes need some concrete confirmation. And I'm not saying that Spirit is not almighty, because Spirit is. However, having a tarot card, having an insight into your psyche, into your insights, into your inner guidance is what tarot provides. So not only is it intuitive development, it's also spiritual practice. And that is what I'll be showing you in tonight's pop-up. So I invite you to personally come and join me. And if that's not your thing, no worries. Come and join me tomorrow for our Heart Happy. That's, again, it's by love donation, because I am here to truly be helpful. And being helpful means that I'm supporting you and your spiritual growth and your spiritual evolution. And guess what? I've been doing this same thing for over the last decade. Nothing has changed. I have not changed anything, because this has always been who I am. This has always been who I've wanted to be. And that's why having that hack allowed me to see, who am I being? So when we allow ourselves to pivot, to look at ourselves, to rotate, right? To rotate and look at things from another perspective. That's what a miracle is. A miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love. And so I'm inviting you to have a shift in perception. I'm inviting you to have a pivot in your possibilities instead of your problems. And so let's take it to prayer, because you know I love to pray. And so here is your opportunity right here, right now, to pause, to pray, and to pivot. Just breathing in the sunshine, breathing in fresh air, fresh love, fresh light, breathing in possibilities, breathing in prosperity, just breathing in peace. And so I know, as I am breathing in each of these qualities of Spirit, of the universe, of the divine, of Goddess, God, the name of your understanding, I am absolutely knowing that there are nothing but possibilities, because all I see is possibilities. There are no problems here. And so I just lift and shift our minds, our bodies, our spirits. And as I do this for each of us watching live or the replay, I do this for every man, woman, and child, every tree and every sea, every animal and every insect. How grateful I am to know that all it takes is a moment to pause, a moment to pray, and a moment to pivot. May this prayer land in your heart and make it happy, make it glad, make your eyes see with new clarity. May your heart be open and expanded for yourself and all those around you and the world. May we be lifted and shifted here and now. Here and now, in the present moment, is where we pivot. And so I let it be. I let Goddess, I let go. And so it is. Ashe, amen, and so much more. Thank you so much for joining me. And so I invite you also to follow me, Anna, and I also on Instagram, and our new community at Spiritual Womanhood. We've got so much good stuff coming up for you. So thank you so much for tuning in and turning on with me. I'm going to pop on over there to Instagram and see what's happening over there as well. So I send you so much love and light. Until next time, beloveds.